All right guys, welcome back to Hood's Custom Shop. So guys, today I just want to kind of go over some of my camera equipment, audio equipment and everything that I'm currently using. Now some of this stuff I really don't use very often, like this gimbal right here is kind of a problem. Like this right here is very simple and it just works. I'm very able to kind of tell which direction the camera is pointed without even really physically having to look at it. So that way, you know, I hear a lot of people saying that you want to look at the lens, but at the same time, you don't want to stare at it all the time, because there's a lot of people who don't really, they want to feel like they're there with you, like they're there in person, but they don't want to feel like you're staring them down. I don't know. That's just my preference, probably. I don't know. But that's just kind of a tactic or whatever. So what did I start off with? So about 12 years ago is when I started my YouTube channel, and it was terrible, guys. It was horrible. And uploading that first video was like the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, or pretty darn close to it. So you just have to get out there, make a video, you know, think it through or whatever. One thing I do, you know, on a lot of things I make, you know, like here's a draw knife, something I drew up. I planned on making a video of this, but I don't have all the stuff to do blacksmithing right now. So I drew up this design here. I kind of just thought up my own design for a draw knife, and I emailed this to the tradesman channel, and he has not got around to making that for me yet, and that's been a couple years ago, and he's probably not going to make it. But I would like to get somebody to make that draw knife for me. If you're a blacksmither, if you're a blacksmith, I'd like to get that made. All right, so this is my bench, or my sawhorses out here, my timber frame sawhorses. I just kind of drew that up, kind of thinking it through and everything. They're really still not finished. I haven't put the pins in yet. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, like right here's a bar that I made for an old boss of mine out of some red cedar. That thing turned out really, really nice. We put epoxy over it. If I can find a picture of it, I'll pop that up there for you. Okay, now this, I actually drew this after the fact, after I built the bench that you guys seen that we auctioned off at the meetup. So that's it right there. Basically, I just kind of drew that up there so I can, you know, maybe take a photo of that or something and put that up there so you guys can kind of have an idea how I made that. All right, so like this right here, this is basically my yard layout. Here's my house. Here's where I, you know, would like to build on and have a big wood shop here. Here's where I want the sawmill. You know, this is a front yard. Here's my shipping container kiln and a little cart system that I want to make to where I can actually use a forklift or skid steer tractor or something with like forks on it to load bundles of wood onto the cart. And then it'll have two removable tracks right here, and I'll be able to, you know, remove those tracks, open the doors, and then put the tracks back in place, roll the cart in there with everything strapped down on it into the kiln, you know, making it a lot easier to load and unload the kiln. That's a future project I'd like to get on and start doing. This right here is a showroom, you know, a big, it's about a 25 by 40 building. So 25 by 20 or so, or maybe 25 by 25 right here for a showroom, you know, a place where I can have my slabs and tabletops and stuff like that, epoxy pours in there. A little bit of a woodworking room right here to where I can you know, do like slab surfacing right there, have a place indoors, you know, for my router sled so I can surface stuff. I'd like to get a CNC one someday, just, you know, to surface and flatten slabs and stuff. And then back in here, I think that'd be kind of nice to have like a finish room where I can do like paint, epoxy, all that kind of stuff. A temperature controlled, you know, kind of like a paint booth back here in the back. And then of course right here would be like our log deck. And so, you know, a notebook like this is something that can be extremely helpful in making YouTube. And I think that's one thing that is overlooked a lot in YouTube, is actually kind of thinking through your video, like what you're wanting to do. Like right here, yesterday you guys seen a video of me making a cookie countertop, or at least starting to flatten it. And so right here is just a little sketch of that idea. And then another video that I plan on doing after this video today is actually a log, you know, seat. Just a very simple, it's just from a log. You use a chainsaw and cut out 3 legs on it, basically. Just a very simple design. So just an idea book, you know, to that's how you can start off with your ideas and just kind of sketch things down. You don't have to be real good at drawing. I mean, I'm not the greatest at drawing. I learned a little bit here and there in high school, taking art class, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, everybody can kind of sketch something down. If you can understand it, then that's what's important. Take down notes or whatever, just like on this one here, if I can find it. You know, I was thinking of, you know, when I did the video, simple log seats, campfire seats, log chairs, chainsaw log chairs. I was thinking up of ideas of what I could name the video. Stuff like that, tags, you know, try to think of tags. Just like really sit down and think about it whenever you're trying to come up with your tags and stuff like that. All right, so anyways, like in TubeBuddy, you can search tags and it gives you some kind of rating on it or something. The best thing you can do is actually use your head and think about, if I was searching for this, what would I type in if I was going to search for that? If I wanted to see, you know, a simple, you know, how to make campfire furniture, I literally just probably said how I would look that up. How to make campfire furniture, how to make bonfire furniture, how to make camp furniture. You know, kind of refine it down and think about it. How would I type that in? If I was searching for that in YouTube, how would I search for it? Then your tags, you're going to want to, you know, searching for tags on TubeBuddy, that might actually work, because you can actually search for other YouTube channels that do kind of the same stuff. And if you can somehow use some tags to attach your channel to this other channel that maybe has more views, they do pretty much kind of the same thing. You know, if you can kind of get attached to that and the algorithm pick you up and bring you into that. And, you know, I wish I could get my channel attached to like the Samurai Carpenter, because that guy, he's got a huge channel and he does some really amazing work. And that's where I've actually learned a lot of the stuff that I do. So, you know, that's kind of one of those things you got to think about, is how to get yourself into that algorithm. It is not all about the hardware and technology and stuff. You know, this right here, if you're not all shaky or whatever, it actually works pretty good. You can just kind of hold it at arm's length. That works all right. The biggest problem I have with this right here is it gets in the camera lens. Let me put this on there real quick and I'll show you. Just turn it on. All right, we got it turned on. Like this thing, This is the Zhiyun Smooth 4. You know, that turns it off whenever you do that right there. It kind of goes into sleep mode. You want to turn it on, you just do that right there. You just kind of flip it open. Now it does have an app for this thing where you can actually connect wirelessly this to, you know, where they're connected together, and then you can use all of these functions and stuff right here. Way too high tech. You don't need that. Basically, the only feature I need to use is what it is right now. So in this right here, the wide angle lens picks up this right here in the camera. So in order to do away with that, you have to pretty much hold it like this, and it still kind of gets into the corner because you can't hold it like that, obviously, because it's going to run into things. Now you have these two buttons back here. You have the top button, you can hold it for quick movement if you're wanting to pan around real quick. Then you have the bottom button here, you hold it and it's just smooth. All right, you can not hold it and just do it like this and it follows. You can hold it. All right, so it's going to try to stay on this plane like that, and if I want it to go up or down, I have to hold this bottom button to get it to go down. Okay, or I can hold the top one and make it fast. Okay, and it's still very smooth. All right, so this one right here, you flip that down and look at that. It stays. Like if I want it on this person or this spot over here, I could sit here and turn this thing and it is locked on right there, unless I turn it too far. And of course it does that. Now if you're not on the wide angle lens, this thing doesn't get in the way over here. I don't know. Now you can, you know, you could possibly, this is the hard part, turning it around like this, because I absolutely do not like using the rear facing camera. The rear facing camera is, no way, I'm not doing that. So I can do it like this, but then, you know, if I'm doing a live, I cannot see the words, you know, or the messages and stuff on there. So I try to stay away from doing that right there, unless it's going to be like this. I mean, this is the main reason I don't use this. Like if you're using it for a live and you want to read comments, it's not going to be, you know, the greatest thing that you can use. Your phone, of course, you know, there's lots of things out there you can use. You can, I think you can actually tether a GoPro to your phone and do a live from your GoPro. I mean, technology is so advanced these days. I mean, I can't even keep up with it. But, you know, this right here, the camera that's on you at all times, that's your greatest thing for YouTube. Some of my best, not my best videos, but some of my most popular videos is like at the meetups and stuff, when Jason Crocker's doing something crazy, you know, pop the phone out, go live, and here we are recording. And I didn't even have this with me, but you know what's great about this thing right here? This is the Ulanzi. It doesn't even say which number it is, but it's very simple how it holds your phone. It just clamps on there. It's spring loaded. Now this base right here, this actually came with this Zhiyun Smooth 4. When I bought this little tripod came with this, but you can get tripods like this. And I've tried using this thing like this. I've set it on my trailer before, and when I come back and reviewed the footage later, it was looking like somewhere else, not even looking at what I was doing. So I do not highly recommend this. I mean, it's nice to have a gimbal, but that thing, I don't care for it too much. This right here is one of my go-tos, and the GoPro. I'm recording right now on the GoPro 8, I believe it is, the GoPro 8 Black. And the only reason I got that was because I needed a GoPro that you could just pull the battery out, stick another one in there, you know, have like 3 batteries, so you have 2 of them charging at all times, or one charging, one charged up, and you can just kind of cycle through them. Because if you're shooting video all day long, you're going to go through some batteries in that thing. So this right here, this is my older GoPro. This is a GoPro 7 Silver, and you know, I guess it has its place. It does not have the removable battery. That's the biggest downfall to it, is not being able to remove the battery and, you know, just change it out. You actually have to plug this in, let it charge. When it dies, it's done. You're down a camera. But you know, it's nice for getting some nice B-roll, especially like this right here. I put this mount right here on my hard hat for chainsawing. And so that right there is pretty nice, you know, to be able to get that first person shot of what you're doing, and being able to just, you know, have those shots, have that B-roll to where you can go in and try to keep that person's attention. You know, the hardest part is getting them to click on your video. The second hardest part is getting them to stay on your video as long as possible. I know there's a lot of people who are sitting there saying, you got to keep your videos short. No, I don't think so, guys. I have videos that are hours long. I'll tell you something. I was way beyond my 4,000 watch hours years before I ever even got to 1,000 subscribers. That 4,000 watch hours is just by simply having interesting videos. And probably my biggest problem was in all my early videos, I was not sitting there saying, hey guys, smash that like button, don't forget to subscribe. I know it's terrible that we got to say it all the time, but if you want people to subscribe to your channel, you got to say it. You got to say, hey, smash that subscribe, or smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share the videos with all your friends, all that kind of stuff. You have to do that, just how it is. So I mean, if you can get a camera like this, if you can get you a GoPro, get you some B-roll, it's pretty nice. You know, use your cell phone for sure. Now, this right here is just a, I don't know, it was like a $10, $15, $20, I don't know, little battery pack from Walmart. This was actually just at one of the registers, like when I was checking out one day, and I said that would be pretty nice to have, and I think it was only like 10 bucks. So I got one of these right here. It's pretty nice, but you know, this one, I think it only charged my phone up one time, and it's kind of slow at doing that. So I need to get, you know, a nicer one, like one that can actually charge my phone multiple times and actually do it pretty quick. This right here is pretty nice. Like at the meetup when I was live for a couple of hours, I had my phone up on the tripod. Now on the tripod, I actually have another thing like this on the top that I put my phone in to hold it. So I can actually just have this. I can carry this around, put it in my back pocket. I can put my phone up on the tripod, and then I can actually had a longer cord than this. So I just took this right here and I wrapped it around the tripod a couple of times, like tied it in a knot, and had it to where it was holding it up pretty much like that. And then plug it into the phone, and it sits there and charges my phone while it was live. So, you know, like I put the phone over there on the tripod while I was kind of talking with people and setting up the sawmill and stuff that like people don't really care to watch. And Ivy's Forge and Homestead, he was over there forging, and I said, well, I'm pretty sure my viewers are gonna like to watch what he's doing. And you know, the whole point in me going live was not, you know, to show what I was doing. My live videos was basically to make you guys feel like you were there. So, you know, I wasn't like trying to focus on what I was doing. You guys watch me mill all the time if you're on my channel, but how often do you guys get to sit there and watch somebody forge at a meetup and get to be there and, you know, hear the conversations that everyone's having around you and everything? That's why I had my phone over there, because what I was doing really wasn't that exciting. just kind of getting things ready to do a demonstration with the sawmill. And so anyways, when shooting your thumbnails, taking a photo for your thumbnail, this phone right here, it's got a really good camera. Now, if your cell phone doesn't take really good photos, you can, if you have a GoPro, you can use that to take photos. But the very best that I've got for taking pictures is this right here. This is a Canon 80D. I like to use this a lot of times to take photos. It's really nice because you have the screen that flips out here. So if you're like this right here, you can actually, and I don't like doing this because it's easy to drop it, but you can hold it up like that, take your picture or whatever. This is the, what is that one? I can't even remember what this one is. The 18 to 135 millimeter. That's not what I usually use. That's for like if I'm, taking a picture of somebody or something that's a little bit away from me. But this right here, the ultra wide, the 10 to 18 millimeter, this thing is really, really nice for vlogging. You have that nice, wide angle lens. It's pretty nice to have. And then just for taking photos and stuff that are a little further away, I have the 55 to 250 millimeter. All of these are, of course, they're Canon lenses. Really nice to have in your tool bag. Let's see here. Here is a little fuzzy cat mic that I kind of like using sometimes. On stuff like this right here, I really, if it's not windy, I try not to use this because I don't like that directional sound that comes from it. You don't hear things that are behind the camera as well. But this is the Movo VXR10, and the biggest problem is this cord right here. If you don't get this thing plugged in into your phone all the way, if you have a case on your phone, you probably want to take that off. But what I had to do was right here on this little case I have, it's just a cheap case on my phone. I drilled that out so this would actually fit in there. I actually have to make sure it is plugged in all the way. Then I have to shoot a short video. Then I got to unplug it, and it doesn't make any sense because once I've unplugged it and plug it back in, and I check, played the video back to see if it actually recorded audio. You've unplugged it to check it and then plugged it back in. So, I mean, you're just kind of at the mercy of it that you actually capture audio. So I don't like using those. I'd rather it just be like this right here and I actually capture the audio. There's nothing worse than shooting that perfect clip and then coming in, pulling your SD card out, stick it in the computer, bringing that into, like I use Filmora. One of these days I'll upgrade to Adobe Premiere, but that costs quite a bit of money. So Filmora is it's a one-time deal. That's what I like using. So anyways, you take your stuff in there and you put it in there, you hit play on it, checking audio and stuff like that, and you've lost all your audio. That is horrible. And that's the biggest downfall to this right here. This is a wireless microphone in Lapel Mic. So basically you have the receiver here. What do I do with that? Here it is. All right, so let me kind of show you how this sets up. Basically you get your phone clamped in here. All right, got my phone clamped in. Then your receiver has a little belt clip like thing. You have a cold shoe up here on the top of this, and that just slides in there. It's not real secure. Then you got to make sure you have the right cord that goes, from this to a smartphone. There's actually a separate cord that'll go from this. Like if you're wanting to use your DSLR, there's another cord for that, and you don't want to mix that up. Let's see here. Where is it? There it is. All right, so here's my cord. I actually have another one that looks like this one, but I don't keep it with me. I keep this one right here because it's red and it looks different. This one is actually from my Rode video mic that I broke. That thing, it came with my Canon 80D, and it's just super nice to have. So anyways, back to this. Make sure this is plugged in real good and secure. Usually what I'll do is I'll run this through here a couple of times, wrap it around, and that helps make sure it stays connected or held on there. All right, so make sure that's plugged in. Double check, triple check, make sure it's plugged in. Plug it in there, make sure it's in there. All right, go to video. Okay, and that's probably not going to stay in there, but it'll go. We're not recording on there right now, so anyways, your lapel mic. All right, so what you want to do with your lapel mic to get wired up, and when it's real windy outside, this is my best option. But anyways, what you want to do is take this end right here and run it over your shoulder and down the back of your shirt. I'll reach up the back of my shirt, see if I can find it. There we go. Pull it out the back. You want to take this microphone, all right? You're clip it on your shirt. I see a lot of people do this wrong. You know, they'll just clip it on. I mean, whatever works, right? But to do it the right way, you want to have it on here like this. Wrap this back around behind, like this right here, and then clip over that just like that, okay? Then you can actually kind of tuck that in. It's not usually going to be too big of an issue. Then you have your cord here, have your receiver. Now you can use this receiver without the lapel. It actually has a mic right there, and there's actually a fuzzy cat thing that comes with it that I don't even know where it is because I don't use it. Typically, if I'm going to use this, I'm using the lapel. So you just plug it in, and this is the biggest downfall with these is there's nothing physically holding this. There's no positive like clamp holding that plugged in, so it can get, you know, knock loose if you're doing physical work or something. It can come unplugged or whatever, and that's kind of a problem. All right, so we turn this one on, turn this one on. Then you have on here, you can kind of see the battery power and the audio, and let me see if I can show you guys. Audio. You can kind of see how far up it's going on there. All right, so we can plug that in. Testing. All right, I can see it coming up on the screen on this one. We'll go into our video, and then we are recording. All right, guys, so now we're recording through the lapel mic right here, and it should sound pretty good. And this right here, usually I can kind of, if I'm outside in the wind, I can sort of turn my body to shield this little area from the wind. And really, you want it on your chest. You want it somewhere right here on your chest. They say the reason for that is because of like the reverberation from your chest just gives it a better sound. A more realistic sound. So this right here is a huge game changer when it comes to doing YouTube videos. Everybody knows that, you know, video comes second. Audio comes first. If your audio is horrible, if there's a lot of cracking and popping or really like a lot of wind noise, that is the worst thing for a YouTube video, and people will click off of it in a heartbeat. They ain't gonna put up with that. If it sounds terrible, Nobody wants to listen to that. You need to go reshoot that video. Don't even upload it because I don't know of anything that could hurt your channel worse than, you know, having bad audio. Bad audio is not good. But this Moman lapel mic, it's a wireless lapel mic, works really good. The only downfall to it, the thing I don't like, is it doesn't have something to positively hold it plugged into your phone and the lapel plugged into the transmitter. Now, a cool thing about this is, all right, so now we're recording straight from this. I have the lapel mic right here. I actually have that disconnected. So there's a microphone. You can see it right there on the top of this thing. That you can actually plug in a dead cat on there. I don't know where mine's at. I have no idea what I've done with it. And I think I actually messed it up. But anyways, that right there, you can simply just use it like that. It's one less thing to go wrong with it. But you definitely want to put that dead cat on there, because the best thing about this is the noise canceling, you know, where you're not dealing with, you know, the wind and stuff. So that's pretty nice. But the lapel mic, it does pretty darn good too in the wind. A lot of times you'll still pick up that wind. If it's, you know, gusting 15 mile an hour, you're going to probably pick up wind. But a lot of times you can kind of shift your body and get that wind, you know, on your shoulder instead of on your chest. And that's going to help out quite a bit. So guys, I just wanted to share with you some of the things I have that I use in making my YouTube videos. And I wanted to point out, really honestly, get a notebook. And that's, you know, that's one of the biggest things, is just kind of try to plan out your video. Don't plan like what you're going to say. Don't go by a script or something like that, because if you do, it's not going to come off as genuine. It's going to be, you know, it may be dry either way, but if you try to plan out everything you say, you're going to stumble over your words. You're going to mess up. Just be yourself and talk to the camera as if there's somebody else right there and you're talking to them. So guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and share the videos with all your friends on all social media. It would sure help me out a lot. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.